Okay, now two stocks which are called as the traditional budget stocks. One of them historically has been Siemens. Government will spend more, private sector capex will gain. And the second is BHEL, where anticipation is that thermal is not going to go away. Whatever the world may be talking about energy transition, that's slow, but the current capacities will not go away. And those are two stocks which, in a sense, Kunal, we've always discussed them as the budget trades, right? So what's been their correlation with the market, both Siemens and then BHEL?
So interestingly, prior to the budgets, I'm not saying for each and every budget, but prior to many events for budgets, these stocks, they come back into a corrective phase. There comes a point where the indicators are very deeply oversold for these stocks, and that arises, that leads to, an opportunity where these stocks could actually be considered as very good contra buys. Now, for example, the charts over here for Siemens indicating very, very similar, like in 2017, 18, so on and so forth. Whenever the indicators have come back into deep oversold territory just prior to the budget, we've seen these points as very good value points for longer term investors to try and nibble into these stocks, average out, accumulate, or maybe buy fresh. We are at a zone where these stocks are just about to come back into that deep oversold territory in terms of indicators for Siemens. Same is the case with BHEL, where the stock which hit the sub 200 mark just about a few weeks back has come back into a mild recovery, but again the indicators have come back into a major oversold territory, and this happens occasionally prior to the budget event for these stocks, and that leads to into these stocks as a new cycle of uptrend. So I would probably believe that both of these stocks, they look very strong in terms of price charts, and any kind of a dip which leads into these stocks to come back into a deep oversold territory on the indicators could be a very good value opportunity.
So is there a trade in BHEL and Siemens for next 15 days?
Yeah, next 15 days, very much possible. So again, as I said, in case if these stocks dip down by another 2-3 percentage points.
If they don't, then what? If they don't, then what should one do?
I think they should dip down another 2-3 percentage points. The point is, if the markets dip down further, then maybe the scale of correction could be a bit more deeper. But I think that could be an opportunity not to miss into buying these names.
Okay. Is there a correlation between Siemens and budget or BHEL and budget? I mean, do they tend to be active ahead of budget and tend to sell after the budget? Because every budget expectations are government will spend more. A company like BHEL and Siemens will always benefit.
So it's the approach in which these stocks enter into the budget, like what we were discussing earlier, that if these stocks enter into the budget on a selling note, where these stocks go into a sharp selling spree. Right now, for example, we are at a point when the last 4-5 months, these stocks have shed somewhere around 30% to 43-45% from their 2024 peaks. Now, when they enter into the budget on a negative note, that's where the opportunity rises that these stocks go contra. Now, had it been a point where these stocks are at their multi-year highs, then the approach could have been a lot more different for these names.
All right, Kunal, thank you very much. That's a budget special today where we spoke about the importance of the capital expenditure sector.